U.S. helicopters and Navy warships are scouring the sea, looking for any signs of the Malaysian Boeing 777 that left Kuala Lumpur headed for Beijing and disappeared about an hour into the flight.
No relief in sight from the polar vortex. Temperatures remain freezing in the Midwest as the Arctic air sweeps into the Northeast and South.
Southern discomfort across the Southeast. Snow brought Atlanta to a virtual standstill. Abandoned cars and trucks littered the highways.
It happened about 60 miles north of Seattle. A rain-soaked hillside gave way, swallowing everything in its path, enveloping homes in a thick mix of mud, trees, and rock.
Relentless and powerful. A night of dangerous tornadoes following several days of deadly storms. Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana were all hit hard. Arkansas especially seems to have suffered.
Firefighters race against the wind that's carrying embers hopscotching between treetops. And up in swirling columns, the people here in San Diego County are calling firenadoes.
A jumbo jet down and destroyed in Ukraine. Malaysian Air Flight 17, a Boeing 777 with 295 people reported on board.
A night of terror in Isla Vista, a community of mostly students near UC Santa Barbara. A rolling rampage of gunfire from a black BMW coupe that left 7 dead, including the shooter, 7 others injured.
The pointed questions and concerns about how and why General Motors allegedly hid defects with faulty ignition switches, problems that led to at least 13 deaths and dozens of injuries, turned personal. The strain was visible on GM CEO Mary Barra's face as lawmakers aggressively questioned her.
The death of Robin Williams left his family, friends, and a generation of fans across the world in shock.
Tear gas filled the air in Ferguson, Missouri, where hundreds of angry protesters again clashed with police as tensions continue to boil over after the death of 18-year-old Michael Brown, the unarmed teenager who was shot and killed after a confrontation with police.
Nearly 3 weeks after surprising many by walking into Emory University Hospital sick with Ebola, Dr. Kent Brantley is walking out.
I'm thrilled to be alive, to be well.
Emory doctors have released Brantley and fellow missionary Nancy Wright-Bowl. They became infected with the virus while working to contain the Ebola outbreak in West Africa.
Thomas Eric Duncan died at Texas Presbyterian Hospital. For 10 days, he fought the Ebola virus here. He arrived in the U.S. from Liberia and within a few days got sick.
Shots rang out at Marysville-Pilchuck High School just before 11 a.m.
We are confirming 2 deceased at this time. One is the shooter.
At least 4 others have been taken to hospitals.
Republican leaders are celebrating. Incumbent Senate Democrats Mark Warner and Jean Shaheen hung on, but Mark Udall, Mark Pryor, and Kay Hagan lost their seats. Republicans Joni Ernst, Shelley Moore Capito, Mike Rounds, and Steve Daines took what had been Democratic Senate seats.
Almost in an instant, it went from fall to frigid. Arctic temperatures mixed with howling winds unleashed an unprecedented snowfall in Buffalo.
And liftoff at dawn.
Orion pushed away from Pad 37 and into history.
The dawn of Orion and a new era of American space exploration.
Today, a Staten Island grand jury rendered its decision. No indictment for the New York City police officer whose officially banned chokehold was cited as a contributing factor in Garner's death back in July.
No racist!
Chanting slogans now synonymous with the continuing movement against police violence. Protesters called for changes in the way police interact with people and in the way incidents of police violence are investigated and prosecuted.
During an NFL season that's often played out in a courtroom instead of a stadium, NFL owners unanimously approved a new sweeping league personal conduct policy.
Freed after 5 years in a Cuban prison, American Alan Gross arrived back in the U.S., part of the diplomatic deal that was secret till now.
Today, America chooses to cut loose the shackles of the past.
The U.S. will open an embassy and press for reforms to boost Cuba's economy, signaling a new era. After half a century, the door is now open.
3, 2, 1.